I heard a frustrating case this morning. Psychologists say that overcoming adversity is one of the hardest tests of any marriage. The couple I met today brought a lot to overcome when they came to divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Mr. and Mrs. Haywood, the two of you have been together for 11 years. You have been married for the last 4. Ms. Hayward, you say you are tired of waiting on him to change.
Yes.
What kind of change have you been waiting on?
Employment, emotional change, respect, honoring what we actually signed up for to get married.
Of all of those things, what is the most meaningful to you? What's the one thing that...
Loving me for who I am and the change that I've made throughout the years and being there for him throughout all of these years.
Why do you feel that he doesn't love and respect you?
Because of choices that I've made in our marriage throughout the time that we've been together and the way that I talk to him sometimes. Because I yell, he feels as though I put him down as a man. I degrade him as a man.
First of all, I want to compliment you on self-awareness. Rarely do litigants come out here and fess up to what they're doing, what their wrong is. So I want to give you kudos for that.
Thank you.
You said, though, that you don't feel that he loves and respects you. You gave me the why you don't think he loves you and respects you, but what is he doing that makes you feel that way?
Verbal can tear you down.
What kind of things does he say to you?
He does not...
Look over here, not over there, right here. What does he say?
He says a lot of disrespectful things that, as far as a woman, that...
You should give me some examples. I can't guess.
Examples like I don't do enough for him anymore, as far as complimenting on what he does around the household.
Now that's not verbal abuse. That's a request. Now I want you to tell, listen, you're in divorce court, right?
Yes.
You're hurt and you're angry about something.
He curses.
That's what I need to hear. Tell me what the anger's about.
I raise my voice. He actually curse and tell me what he's not going to do, how you not going to provide for us as a family. It was good enough to take care of him while he was incarcerated, but not good enough for him to do once he was out of incarceration. He promised me that he would have a job, he would look for a job on an ongoing basis. Going to the library for an hour is not looking for a job.
Mr. Hayward, you have a criminal history, which makes it difficult for you to get a job, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. And I understand that. But you said something that I thought was fascinating in your papers. You said you're not thinking about doing fast food because you want a career.
Yes.
Now, given the disabilities that you have as a function of the past that you have, aren't you being a bit unrealistic about saying you want a certain kind of job, understanding that having a career may be, at this juncture, not available to you until you've got a history of some kind of good of employment? Do you understand what I'm saying?
He has a safe
Yes,
serve.
I'm talking to Mr. Hayward.
Yes, I want to have a career that I can have and help provide for her. Fast food, restaurant like that's not going to do nothing.
I want to be 6 feet. You know what I mean? I really, I want to be tall. There's nothing I can do about that. Given that, I'm not going to keep buying size 12 shoes. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I understand you want a career, but you're not in the position to get a career now. So why don't you do what you can, however you can, while you can?
That's what I'm trying to do. As of right now, I'm an electrician apprentice.
That Tauliba helped him get the
Yeah,
job
you
for.
did, but that's what I'm
He
doing.
doesn't even appreciate that.
How I don't appreciate it, I do
At
appreciate it.
my job, I was doing my job and I was networking and helped them get that employment. That was for a couple of days a week.
Well,
and
now
that's
he's
not
an
all week.
electrician's apprentice.
And I'm getting
That's
paid.
all right.
That's
And he's
twice a week. That's not
It's
the
better than
other
nothing. I
days
would-
of week. He can go look for a job, not sit in the house and watch TV all day, watch cable. And I'm at work all day. Then I drop off our child, pick up our child.
And I don't watch
From
TV
school?
all day.
Daycare.
I pick him up too. We both do it. Don't say you just do it. We both
What,
do it.
are
We
you
have
home
days
all day
set.
and your
No,
child is in daycare?
Yes.
I don't be home all day.
What are you doing all day?
Look, for 3 days out of the week, I work. When I'm home, I got a book that my boss got for me. I read through that so I can study. I'm being an apprentice. And so he's trying to make sure I know what I need to know so I could be an electrician, so I get a license, be able to start my own business. That's what I'm trying to do.
And I get that. Here's what I would say to you. There are people out there that are one thing at a time, people. I'm doing one thing, so I can't do anything else. One thing at a time, people rarely get where they're going because you can rarely just do one thing at a time. So while you're studying and all that, you can also assist around the house. You can make some money. You can do all that kind of
Uncle
stuff.
sit there
Listen,
underneath
I
that
cook, I
table.
cook.
He read that book a couple of times and it sit there.
How you know if you're not home, as you say, how you know if I read it a couple times?
Morris is sitting at home
hang on,
watching
Mr.
TV.
Hayward. What is your primary concern with Mrs. Hayward?
She don't like appreciate me for who I am. What I do, like as she said, I don't have a job. I do make sure the house is clean. I make sure that she ain't got to do laundry. I make sure I'm holding my part.
Is he holding down the fort?
Holding my part.
The laundry don't got to be done every day. The laundry get done
But,
at
does,
a
but,
particular
but,
time.
but
That's not
hang on,
enough no more.
hey. My question to you
It's
is...
not enough anymore.
Excuse me?
It's
I
not
do
enough.
believe I was speaking.
I apologize.
That's one of your problems right there, which you've acknowledged. But acknowledging something ain't gonna get you anywhere unless you're gonna do something about it. Is he doing stuff around the house, but you just don't feel like it's enough because it's not everything?
Not anymore. Mars used to clean like he's supposed to. I come home and the same stuff sitting there from yesterday. Like, I have a rule in my house. The dishes can't sit in the sink overnight. I got to come home and do the dishes.
No, you don't.
If I'm at work all day, why should I come home to the same stuff that was there this morning if you was there doing something?
Just back up. You do some stuff, but do you hold it down for real at the house?
I clean the house. She come in the house and she just throws stuff everywhere. Don't pick it up because she's rushing to get to work or she's tired.
Are there dishes in the sink overnight?
No, it's not. No.
Ever?
Not anymore,
No,
because
it's
I gave Morris an ultimatum of things that I wanted and accepted.
But once you give a man an ultimatum about what you want and he does it, you have to say thank you and be appreciative and can't be mad about the fact that he didn't do it before. Mr. Hayward, I'm trying to help you over here,
I'm sorry.
and you're talking.
I apologize.
Did you hear what I just said to you?
Yes.
What did I just say to you?
You said I have to wait and thank him for it, and I do thank Morris for it. The thank yous mean nothing to him. He says that thank you mean nothing to me. He said it out of his own mouth. I'm only using the words that he said. I say thank you all the time. I have manners. I say thank you. I shouldn't have to say thank you for picking our son up. That's your child too. We had him together. This is the child that we're blessed with.
Let me try to come at this another way. You're so stuck on what you've done in the past, what you do right now doesn't really matter. Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Let me see if I can do this in a way that doesn't give me an endless back and forth about who's doing the dishes and who's doing what. Both of you say that you don't feel appreciated. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
If one side wasn't feeling appreciated and the other side's happy, you understand what's going on. How do you think that both of you ended up feeling like you're not appreciated?
If I'm crying about things that are going on, Morris won't wipe a tear. Morris won't hug me. He act like I'm not crying. He act like I don't even exist. It's times we walk past each other if we're there together, like we're ghosts, like we're in a place, but I'm there, he's not there. He'll walk past me.
How do you think you got there?
By enabling Morris, for one, for accepting things from Morris that I chose to accept. But there's times that I say, I'm not doing it no more, Morris. I'm not giving you nothing financial. If you call me petty, then call me petty. I'm not paying nothing. I'm only gonna take care of our child, our household bills, and nothing else. No extra stuff, no nothing.
Okay, did you hear what she said about when she's hurt and crying and broken, that you do not comfort her? Is that an accurate reflection of what does or does not go on at your house?
That is accurate.
Okay.
Very accurate.
And why don't you feel the need to do that?
I'm not as, I guess, supportive of her when it's crying. Like, I didn't get shown how to wipe a tear, or like, I'm thinking that she's a big girl, get over it. Like, that's my apology.
Well, now, Mr. Hayward, let me ask you this. You got a television?
Yes.
You ever watch a television show?
Yes, I do.
You ever see anybody comforted on television?
Yes.
Can you just imitate? Do you know what I mean? It's not that hard. I mean, you can figure out how to put an electrical box together, but you can't figure out what to do with that right arm. If your woman is crying, you can't figure out how to circumnavigate that shoulder and do that. That's what you're telling me as a logical matter, that you've seen it on TV, you know how it works, you know what she needs, but you can't figure out how to do it. So let's not pretend. Okay. You just don't want to do it.
Right.
That's the issue, right?
Yes.
So be clean about that and be clear about that. You don't want to comfort her.
At times, no.
It's like he wanted to see me suffer.
I don't want to see you suffer.
Mr. and Mrs. Hayward, here we're not going to get anywhere. Because both of you are feeling used and abused. Neither one of you listens. Both of you have hurt each other so much in the past that you're so stuck on what you've done in the past that what you do right now doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter anymore.
That's not true, because by me changing, I went back to church and was trying to change my life. That has been a change. He calls me a hypocrite because there's certain things that I have not stopped doing. I have not stopped completely smoking, so I'm a hypocrite for that. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes.
I'm not quite sure what you're telling me, Mrs.
Like,
Hayward. I am speaking. Part of your problem, Ms. Hayward, is that you don't listen to people. And not only do you talk when they're talking, you're not looking to understand what somebody else is saying.
Exactly.
All you're looking to do is to tell you what you think. And if I say something that is unlike what you think, you're going to argue with me about it, as opposed to thinking, my marriage is in the toilet. I'm in divorce court. I'm unhappy. I know I'm yelling. I've done all these bad things, but my truth is the truth, and I can't hear anything else. That's a lot of your problem, that you'll always be unhappy if you can't hear and do something other than what you already done. You with me?
Yes. When I try to do that, it feels like I get walked all over.
When she don't do it.
There's a difference between changing and listening and being obedient. There is a way to be in a relationship where you're both being heard. Because I think both of you are just like behaving like 2-year-olds. I don't get what I want, so I'm going to be angry, and I won't give him what he wants. And that's all you see is what you're not getting, as opposed to what you are getting. Why can't you have 2 jobs?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I tell you why, it's an ego thing. If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Hayward, is this marriage rescuable at all in your eyes?
Yes, I think it is.
If there was one thing that I could get her to do that would allow you to get back into this particular game, what would it be?
To allow her to give me a chance to lead. And not only that, to just listen to me.
Give you a chance to what?
To lead, to try to be a man. Lead this family.
What specifically would she need to do in order to give you a chance to lead? Because if she's been primarily responsible for everything, the fact that you don't feel like a leader is on you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you have things you won't do in order to do for the family.
I do what's necessary. Like, I've been in jail because it's been times where as though we didn't have it and I have to sell drugs, and that's what I do.
Do you know that they did it was a book, and they said, at the end of the day, the low-level drug dealers make less than minimum wage people?
Yes, I know that.
So you chose to do something that was less than minimum wage, but you won't go and do a minimum wage fast food job. How much sense does that make?
At the time, that's how I was thinking. Like, I don't do that now. I'm not in the streets no more. I'm done with that. I'm trying to move forward.
Why can't you have 2 jobs? One doing the electrician thing and one doing some fast food or whatever. Why can't you do that?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
I tell you why. It's an ego thing. It's an ego. The drug thing wasn't going to work for you because the low-level guys don't get paid that much. They get killed or they go to jail. But it's a really cool thing to do. It fills up your ego. You can feel cool slinging something on the street. But you can't, oh, no, absolutely what it is. But you don't feel cool flipping a burger. And I get that. But you got to get over that when you have a family, That ego thing has to step to the side, and you can step up and be the leader that you want to be if you're willing to do things that are difficult for you.
But I might not do a fast food restaurant application, but I might put an application of fresh grocers. I'm just not going to McDonald's or Burger King.
We're talking about, like, twice a month.
Not
Like
twice.
in
You
30
said-
days.
if you not, you
we could
keep-
count in 30 days when he's looking.
If there was one thing he could do for you that would get you back in the game, what would it be?
To be consistent. To be consistent with looking for a job. Follow up with a job. You could fill out an application all day long, but if you ain't called the job back and said, I put in an application, I did this.
He doesn't have his grind on. He does the minimum.
He could do grind when it comes to the streets and do all of that, but when it comes to being a regular citizen that won't risk his freedom and our family, because it's not just him that he risked when he made them decisions. It was me visiting him. It was me doing that, and then once he got out, then it's like, all right, give me time. You need 6 months to look for a job?
Yeah, I know what's happening here.
Like-
I get it. I get it.
And
I don't think I can fix it because I don't think anybody's really listening. But I'm going to say it anyway, just for my own personal edification. In divorce court, people tell me the most intimate details of their lives. Join the conversation and share your experience on our Twitter page at Divorce Court and on our Facebook page. See how fans deal with their own relationships. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. Mr. Hayward, if you want to stay married like you say you do, you have to get your grind on. And getting your grind on means working a couple of jobs, doing a whole lot of stuff. Don't do the best you can. You do whatever is necessary. Don't just hum along. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't just put in an application, go home. Go to the library, look up a couple of things, and go home. You just keep going and going. If you don't have a job, looking for a job is an 8-hour-a-day job. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
8 hours a day, the grind on until you get it. And if you're not working, you make sure that the house is clean and everything is cool because she's carrying a lot on her back and on her shoulders. If you want to lead, do so with action and not wait for her to give you permission to lead. Do you see what I'm saying? You could have your grind on, you just don't.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And as he continues or begins to grind, you shut up. You say less. You
Yes.
don't bring up, well, why didn't you do it last month? If he's doing it this month, kudos for doing it this month. Do you know what I'm saying? And if he has changed his behavior, even though if it's something he should have been doing from the very beginning, you compliment the change in behavior because change is an extremely difficult thing to do.
Yes.
It's going to be hard for you to change. It's going to be hard for you to come at him in a manner that is less than assertive and angry. You can stand your ground without being rude or nasty or otherwise all on him. Do you understand what I'm
Is that
saying?
what you say is how
And
you say
every
it?
time each one of you gifts the other one of those things I just told you to do, then the other one is obligated to gift something back. Do you understand what I'm saying? When she comes to you in a reasonable tone of voice with a request, you come back with granting that request. When he comes to you with an effort, you come to him with a thank you. You're not going to be able to balance the books. If you're going to keep going back to what he did and all that jail time he did and all that kind of stuff, then give up.
I only say that because
I understand, but you live there. You are in a washing machine. You think like this in a one big circle about, I would say thank you. Why should I have to thank you? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You want to be somewhere other than the washing machine of this unhappy marriage, correct?
yes, this is not the first time I actually tried to do the marriage counseling. These things.
I spoke to both of you, and I told you both what you needed to do.
Yes.
As I opined earlier, it appears that I've done it only for my personal edification. I'm sure Joe heard me. If one or two of you heard me, hallelujah. This matter is adjourned. What I was telling the Haywards is this. If you want things to improve, you can't focus on yesterday and your sorrow, but you have to focus on your strength and what you need to do for tomorrow.